Hello again, friends. Today is July 9th, and it's 100 degrees outside. I'm suffering a little bit. Just a little bit, though, because I'm inside, and there's air conditioning in here. Yay. So, Project 3, I think, of the summer. Project 3? I'm already losing track. But let's just call it Project 3 of the summer. Yay! Yeah, this one's gonna be a little bit of a simpler one, but I do know what the next one's gonna be. Get excited for that. It's a little bit more straightforward in general. Let's just get right to it. I want to learn how to crochet. Now, okay, years ago, when I was just a wee child, when I was just a tot, I learned how to knit a long time ago. And I basically taught myself how. I used a couple of tutorials, but that was kind of it. Just makes sense in my head. And I didn't learn anything past the super basic stitches. And I made mostly scarves. I did make like a hat for someone once. Pretty cool. I should probably learn more about it. Either way, I got some skills there. And during that time period, I remember telling my mom, and I said, Mom, I want to learn how to crochet because I've seen people crochet and it's kind of the same as knitting. It kind of is, but also not. And I wanted to learn how. And my mom was super supportive and awesome. And she called in a friend of hers, another mom, who came in and gave me some lessons. And that was great. She was such a sweet person, and she was an awesome teacher. She was very patient with me, but there was one problem. I'm not left-handed.
Because I know something you don't know. And what is that? I am not left-handed.
And she was left-handed, and there's nothing wrong with that. But when you're learning from someone a way to do something, and they're doing it basically backwards from what you're doing, it's not gonna click up here. For me, especially as a visual person, it's not. There's going to be a couple gears that just don't work in tandem with each other. So I didn't learn how after that, and I got so frustrated that I gave up and I never did it again. But that's why we're here today. I've always been fascinated by crocheting and just the plushies that you can make too. I've always wanted to do that. I just really wanted to be able to do that for myself, and I asked my mom. I had a crochet hook lying around my old room, and I just asked her, hey Mom, next time you're here, can I get it from you? And she's like, yeah. So I got some yarn, some soft fluffy yarn, and I basically spent a really long time trying to figure out how to crochet. Today is July. See, I already did it. I'm filming this after because my phone ran out of memory. So anyway, that's what we're here to do today, or I already did. And yeah, time lapse insert here. So here we are. This was my first little dude. I'm making a little octopus. That's what I mostly made for this one. I wanted to pick something really easy to start because I didn't want to make myself overly frustrated right off the bat. So I decided to give myself something easier that didn't have a lot of sewing or anything like that. Also, in all of the footage that I took for this, I am almost out of frame. My hands are covering it, or you can't really see what's going on. And I know the speed is up, but they were really long clips, so that's just, But I really like the yarn that I got. It was super soft and comfy, very plushy. I will link it in the description. I do think that my crochet hook was a little bit too small. I know it was just one that I had from a long time ago that I asked my mom to bring for me, so it was decent. It did what it needed to do, but it definitely wasn't perfect, and my stitches were a little bit tight. So in order for them to be looser, next time I think I'm gonna invest in a bigger crochet hook. So yeah, I really just couldn't stop making them at a certain point. I think I made 4 in one day, I think, maybe 3. But overall, it was a whole lot of fun, and I really liked making them, and now I have a bunch of little guys hanging around my room. I do think that I want to try this again in the future. I really like these sort of plushy things, and I want to see if I can make even more now that I kind of know what's going on, and maybe slightly more complex. And yeah, next time I also need to invest in getting some safety eyes before I do everything, because then I can, you know, add them. And there's this little guy. He was my first one, so he was a little wonky. And my second one turned out a lot better. He was still a little bit weird, but hey, he turned out pretty good too. The pink one I did was like pretty much perfect in all senses. The legs curled the way they were supposed to, and this white one kind of did the opposite. The legs did not curl well at all. I'm really not sure why, but I think I was just screwing up the stitch. And then the purple one here turned out pretty good too. And I didn't film a lot of footage for it because I was doing stuff with people when I was crocheting this, but I decided to make a crochet snake. I was stuck between calling him Draco, and then my boyfriend suggested that I name him Oogles, and I couldn't pick, so I decided to name him Droogles, so this is Droogles. He's a really, really comfy companion, you know, you can sit there, you can watch movies with him, and you can just chill on your head, he won't bug you, you know. And if you're like me, where you're kind of scared of actual snakes, he's a perfect little companion. So you can have a snake without having a snake. You know, your own little personal danger noodle. So, yeah, he's a lot of fun. And even as I'm sitting here editing this, he's just vibing on my head. Oh, so yeah, here's my little collection of octopi, and I love them very much. And yeah, back to you, Maddie. And there we have it. It was really fun. My fingers hurt. That's the main thing. My thumbs are irritating me, but you know, I learned this. The inside of this finger, my fourth finger right here, hurts like really bad. It's fine. It's whatever. Anyway, I made so many of those little plushies. I couldn't stop. The video that I took the tutorial from here is linked in the description if you want to check it out for yourself, because it was a very helpful tutorial. I definitely like crocheting. I think my brain still makes more sense of knitting, I think, but crocheting is definitely more fun than I thought it was gonna be. I kind of just expected it to be super frustrating, because I just remember being insanely frustrated with it when I was younger because I didn't know how it worked. So the fact that it turned out fairly well was really awesome, and I definitely think I'll try it again with more complicated stuff. And if I do, I'll post it somewhere, and yeah, it'll be great. Anyway, thanks for coming along with me on this little journey. I know the next project that I'm gonna do, I think, is I'm gonna make a coloring book, I think. And if you guys are interested, if people want it or whatever, I'll post on my Instagram, so check that out. I'll probably just make a coloring book. And if enough people want it, I will sell it to people. So anyway, this was a really quick one, pretty easy one. Thank you for coming along this journey with me. I appreciate you, and I hope to see you next time. Peace and love. Bye-bye.